This Saturday was my first full Saturday and my first day I was going to be all alone. I thought it was a safe place to be. He was tall and he had longish gray hair, lots of long gray hair. I went over to him and asked him if I could help him, and he said, yep, I'm really interested in this skirt for my girlfriend, but she couldn't come with me today because she's sick, so I just want to take a picture of it and I'll email it to her. I held the skirt up, and when he took his cell phone out and took a picture of it, it looked like he was angling the camera more to me than the skirt. I said, hey, you just took a picture of me. And he said, no, I didn't. I took a picture of the skirt. Then he said he was going to email that to his girlfriend, and if she liked it, he was going to he would come back and get it. There was women in the store, and I thought nothing of it. I was in the middle of doing that when the door opened, and I looked up and it was him. My first thought was, oh no, I'm in the middle of closing, and he's come back for the skirt. He walked right over and he picked up the skirt in the size he wanted, and he brought it over to me and reached his hand out, and I took it from him. At that moment, he sort of touched his pockets and said, oh, I just realized I forgot my wallet. And I said, what's your name? And he said, Steve. And he said he'd be in between 4 and 4:30. So right in front of him on a piece of paper, I wrote, hold for Steve until 4:30 Monday. And now he's close to me. He's more at the side of the cash. So when I went towards him to get the shorts out of his hand, I took the hanger from him and he grabbed my breasts. I normally don't swear, but I took that opportunity to say, you know, what the F are you doing? And get out of the store right now. And I was yelling at him. And he looked very sort of smirky, and he kind of had the smile on his face, and it's like he enjoyed that I was getting angry, and then he lunged at me. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground. He's on top of me, and I was saying, please don't do this. Please, you don't want to do this. I'm a mother. I've got 3 kids. My husband's at home. They're waiting for me, and I'm screaming like I've never screamed before, because I was hoping that the people that were at the store next door would hear me. But what I didn't know is that store closed at 5 o'clock, and all the stores had closed at 5, so I was alone, and nobody heard my screams. And I said, oh, Steve, I don't want to sit in that chair. Please don't make me sit in that chair. And he's like, sit down. I could see him getting angrier and angrier and getting more agitated almost by the minute. His whole body was tensing, and his hair even looked like it was getting bigger. And I was scared, really scared. I put my arms on the armrest thinking he's going to tie me up. So when I was sitting there, ready for it, I caught out of the corner of my eye as he got the twine and he tried to strangle me. And I was able to just quickly catch the rope right at that right moment. My fingers went right up against my throat, and he started to strangle me. It was the worst sound I've ever heard. The worst sound coming from me, just hearing all that sound, all that air being squished out of my body. The next thing I know, I wake up and he's on top of me. I saw him go to his back pocket and he pulled out a knife and he popped it open. He had a little button and the knife blade came forward. And I just thought, oh no, please don't. And he's just started to stab me. His arms just going up and down and back and forth, just stabbing me over and over and over again. And he was just like a robot, just going, just doing it, doing it, and doing it, and doing it. I was just moving left and right and back and forth and trying to protect my face and just saying no the whole time. And he ended up slitting my wrist. And as that happened, I knew that was a bad one because my hand just instantly went numb and it felt 10 times the size, and blood from that was going in my eyes. It was just going everywhere. And I was thinking, like, when is this going to end? It just kept going on and on and on. And all of a sudden, he was gone. I thought, I have to pretend to die. I'm gonna just fake my death, and hopefully he'll believe it and leave me alone. I kind of rolled over on my side, and I was struggling. I could barely breathe, but I laid there quietly, slowing down my breathing and watching him through my eyelashes. And he shuts off the lights, he turns back on the lights, and he's kind of confused, like seemed like he was confused with what he was about to do. And then he walked over to me and he kicked me in the back. I think it was his way of checking to make sure I was dead. And I just took it. I didn't cry out in pain. I didn't flinch. I just acted dead. After he kicked me, he walked back to the back door and he went out. The whole time that I was lying there, I was saying to myself, I am not going to die. I am not going to die in this stockroom. I need to see my kids. I need to see Carl. All of a sudden, there was a flurry of police, and the ambulance arrived, and they're cutting off my top, and they were putting tubes in and chest tubes, and I was hearing everything. I was hearing what they were doing and that they'd put a call in to get an air ambulance. I thought, oh my gosh, it must be really bad if I'm going to be airlifted to Sunnybrook. That's got to be bad. In critical care, I was so afraid that I was still going to die. I was able to hold Carl's hand, and I flipped his hand over and I wrote D-I-E. And he said, die? Lenore, do you think you're going to die? And tears were coming out of my eyes, and I was just able to nod. He says, you're not going to die. You've made it. You've made it past the hard part. You're going to live. But it was such a fear of mine. I did not want to die. I have never returned back to the store. I do drive by it, and every time I drive by it and I look over there, I think, oh, that's where I almost lost my life.